Hello and welcome, fellow foolish mortals, to the most foolish channel on the internet. So today we're going to be continuing through our little series of the Villain Park. If you haven't already seen this series before and you want to watch the park one, then please click this playlist up here and I'll get you started on that one. I really hope you enjoy this video, so let's crack on. So I'm actually going to take you through to the whole park map initially, so you can just see what we're about to be looking at. Here we go, here is the park map. So what I'm going to do is take you around. You would pass through this hotel to actually enter the park at all. So this is Lady Tremaine's hotel. It's going to be very grand, it's going to be very posh. We're going to have a chandelier in the check-in area with grand winding staircases just behind the lifts, and we're going to have a suite, a luxury suite. Everything is going to be grand, darling, grand. And we're going to have a dining area as well, where the characters of the villains and Lady Tremaine's friends will have an appearance and go around the dining area for dinners. So I'm going to just take you through this. Okay, so let's start on the ground floor. So here we are. Here we have check-in, some additional rooms. The ground floor prices are actually £280 per room, and it could actually be, 4 people within that room. Then that actually works out as only £70 per room to be that close to the park, and that's per night. So on that ground floor as well, we've got some disabled access and family rooms as you sort of need within Disney park. And then we've got the first floor, and that is going to be £75 per person if 4 people are going to be staying in that room. So that actually makes the entire price for these rooms here is £300 per room per night. And then the second floor standard, this little bit here, this would actually be £340 per room, or £85 if you've got 4 people. And then over here, the second floor on the luxury area, so we have £400 per room, or £100. And then the lady suite, so this will be Lady Tremaine's main suite, so a grand 4-poster bed, full peak luxury, the most luxurious you can possibly have within a Disney hotel. So this is actually going to be £600 per room per night, and so if you had 4 people staying there, that's actually £150 per person per night. So that's actually a really good sort of price, I think, for a really luxury suite. And then we're going to go up to the third floor, and this would actually be £320 per room per night, or £80 per person and within the 4. So yes, this hotel is going to be the most expensive hotel, and then it'll be minus 10% per every night that you stay, so that it would work out to a different sort of price range. Obviously we've got 2 pools, we've got a spa, it's going to be very luxurious, and this would also include certain dining plans as well. And of course all the rooms will be en suite, so they will be with all of the Disney park hotels except for just the one, which we'll get to on the lowest tier in just a moment. But this ensuite is going to be like a nice ensuite. And then the next hotel, so we can either go to the Alice in Wonderland hotel or to the Treasure Planet themed hotel. So I'll take you through to the Alice one first. The Alice in Wonderland hotel will sort of be like quite quirky, quite broken, quite sweet, strange flat roof, quite fairy tale-esque. And then we're going to have these other rooms around these other blocks and they're going to be in the shape of mushrooms because that's adorable. And we're going to have an actual tea room on this area as well in one of the blocks, and then a separate swimming pool area. We're going to have an Alice in Wonderland bar, and it's all going to be themed to Alice in Wonderland with specialty drinks and snacks. And like near the actual bar area, I think it'd be really cool to have an actual room that's shaped like lower with furniture to match the lower theme. So when you walk in it, you can have a photo and you can look like you're really big, and then next to that a really large chair that you can sit on, so you obviously look like you're smaller. Just really cute photo opportunities. And then within the actual check-in area as well, we occasionally have an Alice in Wonderland character come to meet us, so the Mad Hatter, Cheshire Cat, Alice herself, or the White Rabbit. And on the same sort of price level, we're going to have the Treasure Planet hotel, so that's going to be very steampunk. It's going to be themed to look exactly like the Benbow Inn, and inside it's going to be quite steampunky, quite pirate. We're going to have a large bed, we're going to have a large map within the dining area, we're going to have the Long John Silver as well as a statue. I think that would be really cool to just be able to have like cool photo opportunities. All of the rooms are going to be really like steampunk-esque / pirate, sort of that vibe. So sort of like wooden / pirate / metal. And then like a nice bar inside there as well. So it's going to be very similar type of thing to the Alice in Wonderland one, but just a different theme. So this sort of pricing range, £160 per room or £40 per person if you have 4 adults in a party. You've got the pool and the sort of like a basic spa type thing, so not like a full-on spa like you would in the Lady Tremaine Hotel, but still like a jacuzzi, sauna, steam room, just like a nice little bit of luxury. So the doors on like the Alice in Wonderland one, that'll be like the doorknobs of different faces, and then on the Treasure Planet one, the doorknobs will be like the map. So as you can see, we've got a lake here, and we're going to go around that lake, and then to the right. So right to the right, so we're going to go backwards through. We've got Toy Story themed hotel, and then in the middle we've got the Fantasia one, and then to the left we've got Arendelle. So these again are all a similar price range, just sort of different themed, different sort of ways of being set out, and different hotel room amounts. So we have the Toy Story one, for instance. We're going to have the main entrance, and then we've got 3 different blocks which will be themed to like Woody, Buzz and Rex, very similar to one of those all-star hotels that you have within Walt Disney World. And then we have the Fantasia one, for instance, so that will actually have like a nice big sort of statue and outside look to it, so that when you look across the lake from the village, it looks very, very pretty. And all of the blocks will be surrounded by like different extracts from like the movie, so you know, like the unicorns and the rainbows and the little mops as well, and sort of just surrounding to like walk through to the different blocks. And then in the Arendelle one, of course, we're going to have the theme similarly to how we have the Toy Story one themed, and the same sort of layout. So we're going to have an Anna area, Elsa area, and then like an Olaf area. And then obviously we're going to have meet and greets in each of these hotel lobbies as well. So for instance, you know, Elsa, Anna, Olaf, all that lot, Kristoff, all in lobby of the Frozen one. And then Fantasia, we sometimes get Fantasia Mickey, and then we get like a surprise guest, so someone else who's like a popular character, not necessarily from Fantasia, but Disney in general, maybe a classic character. And then over in the Toy Story one, we're going to have, you know, Jessie and Buzz and Woody, all those guys, and just come and have a meet and greet there. So if you're staying in any of the Disney hotels, you can go between the different Disney hotels for the meet and greets, so you can actually go and meet whoever you really want to. The only thing that it's not including will be like character dining within the Lady Tremaine's hotel. So all these 3 hotels will be more child-friendly hotels, so we will have things like options for bunk beds, and we'll have pull out from underneath the other beds, and the double beds, and we're going to have, you know, sofa beds that convert. We can have a room here and then a room here, so like an adult room, a child room, and then like an in-between ensuite bathroom that sort of connect between. And all of those hotels are going to be very, very bright, very, very colourful. So really, really good for like young children and large families. Of course, we still have this for the adults as well. Adults will still love this. So it'll be £35 per person if there's 4 people in a room, so that would work out as £140 per room. And then if you're going for the family room, it would be £160 per, because you've got the additional bit. And all of these hotels will have small indoor play areas as well within the main building, and we'll also have a pool within each of the main areas as well, but that won't be like a jacuzzi and sauna and spa type one. It will just be a basic pool with one small slide. And then so to the back and to the left, we've got the 100 Acre Wood themed hotel, and then we've got to the back and to the right, we've got the Jungle Book themed hotel. So the 100 Acre Wood one will be sort of the same similar layout to how the Toy Story one is, with the different blocks. And there's going to be themed to Piglet, and then Eeyore and Tigger on those back ones, and then the first one right in front of the main lobby is all going to be themed to actually Winnie the Pooh himself. And we're going to have 100 Acre Wood characters meeting in the lobby, and then the same sort of band, but across will be the Jungle Book Hotel, and that's going to be basically, the facade will be like a huge, huge, huge tree, and it's really going to have a tower block inside of that, and then a little bit extra to the back. And of course we can have meet and greets in the lobby with Baloo, King Louie, etc, etc. And this actually works out as £30 if you have a party of 4 per room, so that's £150 per room. So these are actually going to all be standard flat prices rather than seasonally. So obviously the interior of Jungle Book will all look very jungly. We'll have the dining room be similar themed, like a rainforest cafe, but without the cool animatronics, just sort of like the area and then with 100 Acre Wood it's going to be more like a nice tea room type gentle 100 Acre Wood feel with like the trees within it as well. So the pirate themed one, this is all going to be the cheapest one, of course, and it's the furthest one away from the park and the village and everything, and so it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So this one as well, it's not going to have ensuite, so this is the only one that's not going to have ensuites. It will work out as around one large bathroom per 4 rooms, and of course within each of the rooms as well we're going to have a sink. And this one will have standard breakfast over the counter dining, so for instance just getting a bacon roll or a sausage roll or something and a coffee, that sort of thing, ready for the park rather than a sit down dining area. So this will actually work out as £40 per room, so that would basically be £10 each per person per night. And this one's going to have a car park as well. And then because obviously it's themed to a pirate, we're going to have an outdoor broken pirate boat as well at the back that's going to act as like a little play area. So all of the rooms for this hotel will have 2 large double beds, as is standard for all of the other hotels, unless sort of indicated differently on the maps that I showed you. And then also it will also have a sofa bed, which will turn into a double bed if you were to open that out. Okay, so the actual Disney park ticket will be £60 for anyone over the age of 14, and then that would be £40 for anyone over the age of 60 or under the age of 14 to 7, and then anyone under the age of 7 would go to the park for free. So that would be standard, and then that would be included within your hotel price. So if you stay within the hotel, you have to also include a park ticket. So for instance, if you stay in the Disney park for one night in the 100 Acre Hotel, and that means that you would be spending £30 for the actual hotel plus the £60 for the actual park ticket, so that would be £90 per person within that package. So then that would work out as £360 per party if there was going to be 4 of you. Anyone with a park ticket would also have full free access to all aspects of the village, so that would include the Enchanted Village, Little England, and also the Club Quarter. So I'm going to go through all of those areas. And then anyone with the tickets for the water park, Little England or Club Quarter would also have access to the Enchanted Village as well. So if you pay for any of the other parks, you basically have full free access to the Enchanted Village. So I'm going to take you through the Enchanted Village now as the first bit. Okay, so here we have a 3-story Disney Emporium. So the 3-story Disney Emporium is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to have all aspects of Disney merchandise. Along from here we have Casey's Corner, and of course you guys love and know Casey's Corner, and we're going to have some seating areas outside of there. And then along from here we're going to have some shops that all blend into one, so you can go through all of these, but also have entrances into each one too. So we've got the fashion shop, we've got an art gallery / shop, and then a Lego shop, and then we've got the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique as well. At the back of the left side, Cafe Mickey. So Cafe Mickey is just going to be a nice sit-down restaurant, but also a nice meet and greet for Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, Donald, Goofy, whoever comes out, also always including Mickey. So the Disney Junior stage will be completely outside, and then those shows will run on the stage sort of throughout the day, on and off. So there's lots of like happy singing, clapping, dancing, you know, that sort of like kid-friendly stuff, with an occasional Disney Junior dude popping along for a surprise. And then we're going to go carrying on across. So we've got UK sweets and snacks, and that's going to be a 2-story building, and it's going to be beautifully decorated and lots of yummy sweets. So maybe if we can get a Cadbury deal, we put that in there as well. And then we've got toilets, and then we have McDonald's. So obviously we know what McDonald's is. And then we have a cinema. So the cinema, you can also have a little walkthrough in the lobby, and that will show some of the history of Disney cinema and animation, similar to how you would have looking through some of the studio things. You can walk through this area like always, that's completely fine, just walk through that. However, it's only open for like the shops and everything, cinema, blah blah blah, 7 AM till 8 PM, and that would include the McDonald's as well. So all the Disney park opening times would always be between 7 AM and 10 PM, unless there's some sort of special event that means that it goes on a little bit later, such as like Halloween and such like that. Okay, so we shall move across now into the Club Quarter. So if you aren't going to the park and you just want to buy a ticket for the Club Quarter and you're just coming to visit the Club Quarter, then that would be £50 per ticket, and that would give you full access to all of the different events and clubs within this park. But of course, you'd have to buy your own drinks and such when you're in there. So of course, this club quarter would be over 18s only, because this is the legal drinking age in the UK. So we would have a cast member on the gate after 11 p.m. to ensure that people are going in the right direction and being quiet, handing out lollipops to keep people quiet as well. The entire area will just be open between 5 p.m. and then 2 a.m. So of course you have free access to here if you have a park ticket, or of course if you're staying on the Disney property within one of those hotels. So I'll take you through this area, and I think this is a great time for me to show off my t-shirt. Why is the rum always gone? Okay, so this t-shirt is actually from Pickle Vicks, and of course use the code FoolishPickle for 10% off if you want one for yourself. So I'll take you through this area. So as you can see, we've got on the left magical cocktails. So this is going to be an inside lovely bar with a little upstairs area. Speciality Disney cocktails, some beautiful like magic illusions and projection mapping going along as well. It'll be a very nice place for you to dress up all nice and cute and have a drink. And then across from here we've got wine tasting, so again very nice and posh. So this would be sort of a book in advance type thing, or you can rock up on the door and wait your turn if you want to, but it would just be sort of, you know, the traditional normal wine tasting experience. And then so next to the magical cocktails we have Disney karaoke. So obviously this is self-explanatory. We're going to have a bar in there with again some different drinks, and then we're going to have obviously people can come up and do their Disney karaoke, so karaoke to different Disney songs, which needs to be a regular thing throughout the world, I think, because I would definitely enjoy that. And then across from here we've got the Brit Pop Club, so we're doing some throwback to, you know, Spice Girls. And this strip here that's all attached, you can move throughout the clubs all inside, but they are going to be different themes within there. And then so we pass through into the next building, which is, and that's going to be a live music club. So this will be somebody that's not a Disney cast member who's going to come and play their band in a club as you would for a normal pub or something when you have live music. So it's going to be whatever the theme is for the night, and we're going to have a little billboard outside, you know, to say who it is who's going to be playing. So it's going to be a really cool opportunity for small independent artists. And then across from there we've got the Disney nightclub. Yeah, this is going to be extra, okay? This is going to be a 2-story building, and it's going to be obviously the largest club in the place, and it's only going to play Disney music. So here we've got the throwback club, so this will be 70s, 80s and 90s. Next to that the Brit Rock Club, and then we have an Irish pub, so this is going to be basically themed, a traditional Irish pub. And then we've got a sports bar, so we're going to have TV screens playing football and rugby and other British sports that's on at the time, and that people can watch that and have a beer and a shout at the TV or whatever people do in sports clubs. And then a British pub, so this would be a traditional British pub like the Lion and the Rose or something like that. And again, a good place to just sit down and get a beer belly, you know, have some fun, some drinks, some laughter, play some darts, play some pool. Here will be an area for some takeout food. So that won't be in operation until about 9 p.m. and it'll be, you know, things like chips. So I genuinely think that a Disney club area would definitely be welcome in a Disney villain park. Of course, it probably is more catered for those who are a little bit older, 18 plus. I think it'd be really in place to go for something like a stag do or a hen night. So obviously we're now going to take you to Little England, and of course because we are having this park in the UK, and that's why we're going to have Little England. So it's going to be called Little England because I couldn't call it Little Britain because of copyright. I think Little England sounds cute, and Little UK doesn't sound nice. It's going to obviously be sort of more themed around the UK in general, and I think it would be a brilliant place for tourists to come and say that they've been to England even though they've only been to a Disney park. The same way that I can say that I've been to America when I've only been to a Florida Disney park. Okay, so again I'm going to take you around this area. So we're going to have a 2-story escape room, which is going to be called Basil's Great Escape. So it's going to be themed around Basil the Great Mouse Detective, and you can also have a meet and greet area with him just inside. And it's going to be basically an escape room, but a family-friendly escape room. And then next to here we're going to have a facade of Westminster here, and that's going to be a place where you can meet Mickey and Minnie in a nice royal garment. It's a different type of world that we're going to have inside the park because that's going to be more of a medieval royalty. This is going to be more of like a modern royalty, I suppose. And then in the middle we have Big Ben, so a massive Big Ben statue, and then inside there we're going to have 3 stories. So right on the bottom we have Alice's tea room. So I know you may be thinking, oh well, you've got a tea room over in the hotel. And it's like, yes, but people can't necessarily access that hotel if they haven't got the tickets to do that. So the people who are only accessing those hotel areas are those who are actually staying in the hotels themselves. So this Alice in Wonderland tea room is actually going to be a little bit smaller. It's going to be a book in advance type thing. We're going to have scones, finger sandwiches, teas, that sort of thing. And we're going to have like an area where you can buy your own teas as well, and a little area for like reading books and all that sort of thing as well, so a mini sort of library thing too, and you can play chess in there as well. It's all going to be Alice in Wonderland themed. It's going to be slightly different to the other Alice in Wonderland themed tea room that we have on the property, which is in the Alice in Wonderland Hotel. It's going to be slightly different because that's going to be primarily just a tea room, whereas this is going to be a full-on afternoon tea experience with meet and greets. We have a Mary Poppins area, so we're going to have meet Mary and Bert, and then nice photo opportunities with the penguins as you're sort of going around in the queue to meet them. We're going to have a meet Peter Pan and Wendy and a meet Tinkerbell, 2 separate meet and greets within that area. And also as you're in the middle, you can have a look out of the window and see a nice view. And then outside and behind Big Ben, we're going to have Chip and Dale dressed as Beefeaters or castle guards or something like that. We've got a meet Donald Duck at the UK beach, so inside is going to all be themed to the UK beaches. You can have like a little swimsuit outfit on and a rubber ring maybe, something quite cute, and that's a sweet Donald Duck meet experience. And then next to that we can go into Scotland and go inside and meet Merida in Scotland. So we're going across from England all the way to Scotland now, okay? Also having her there means that we've got an Irish pub representation, we've got Scotland representation, we've got England obviously represented, and then obviously in the park we've got Wales represented with the Black Cauldron. So it's basically the UK. And then next to that we've got toilets, and then next to that we have a princess show. So you can have a princess meet and greet which goes in between the shows, so one of those surprise princesses from the show will come out. The whole show itself will be free, but if you want to have a dinner version, then it would be the same price as going to the WDP circus. So that would be £40 per person for the opening time up until 11 AM, and then £50 per person if you do want to have like the dining experience. So that would all be in a separate area, so you could like look on and watch the show from above, and then the other guests who are having it for going in there for free and not having the dinner option can have a look at the just the stage and have a sit down like a normal theatre. And then if you do have a park ticket, then you get 10% off all of the food options within the Disney Village and also within the Little England area. So now I'm going to take you to the water park. So the water park will basically be the secondary park according to this. So rather than having the studios or something like that, we're going to have a full-on water park. And of course it's in England, so we're going to have the option for coverage. So you know how you have some water parks and they have that massive dome that comes up and goes over the top? I want like a huge version of those to sort of work and come over. Don't have a park ticket and you're just going to the water park, then the standard ticket would be £30 if you're over the age of 14, and then it would be £20 if you're under the age of 14 and over the age of 60, and then children go free under the age of 7. But then no child can go in without being supervised by at least one adult. Then if you do already have a park ticket, then it would be £20 over the age of 14, and then £10 under the age of 14, and then of course again children under the age of 7 go free. So that's quite a nice discount really. So I'm going to take you around the entire area of the water park now. As you go through you'll have a shop and that will sell things like water wings, swimming costumes, goggles, you know, some merchandise. And then over to the right you can have a meet and greet with Lilo and Stitch. So as you go through, the entire area will be more themed to sort of like a tropical island, similar to Hawaii I suppose. And then so you've got the changing rooms, and they will just sort of be multi-gendered but all have different cubicles. So you have family cubicles and smaller cubicles, and then multiple lockers, and of course some toilets in there. So as we walk in we can see we've got a little Lilo and Stitch statue, and we've got to the left a little food area that sells soft drinks, snacks, and then also little meals like pizza deal. And then we've got a Mickey Mouse shaped swimming pool right in the centre, deeper as you go like further up his head, and then you have his ears, which are varying deepness as well. And then you're going to have 5 racer slides to the left ear, and then some 3 curly slides to the right ear. Let's go to this area here, where we have a 4-foot pool with some different like pads, some lily pads or Disney shaped pads that you can balance on and try and hold like ropes on monkey bars and stuff to try not to like fall into the water. And then next to that we're going to have a slightly deeper pool. It's going to have one of those like ladders over the top, you know, that sort of like wheel and like rope ladders. So if you fall, you can just fall into the water, and that's fine. But that's going to be it's going to be a little bit higher. We've got a children's area, so it's going to be surrounded by sand, this little part. So it's going to have 3 smaller racer slides, and then we're going to have like a little play area that's sort of like water themed. There's going to be a little pool that's going to be literally like 1 foot deep, and then one tiny little slide that's just going to go down. And then we're going to have like a little tiny paddling pool. And then here we've got the lazy river that sort of goes around about a quarter of the park. It might have some waterfall things trickling down the sides on the inside bit, and looks really pretty, and you can just have a chill and go around the lazy river. So the one that goes above the lazy river will be sort of a family large slide, so that will see up to 4 people all on a tire that they sort of like sit in and hold on to, sort of your own mini tire ride. And then over here we've got a wall pool, so of course that's not going to go fast. It'll be more like down like underneath, and then people can go in there, so cast members will let a certain amount of people in, like 30 people. Then it'll be around 5 foot deep, and it will just sort of wish you around like a whirlpool for like 2 minutes, and then you sort of get out and go, and they let the next load of people in, like a little mini ride. We can go to sort of like the more extreme sector of the water ride. So these like across this section here. So that will be where the it sort of like ends and the outside kind of begins, and so the like dome can come over. So we have 2 extreme rides, which will be outside rides. So we have 3 trapdoor slide rides, so where you stand like this ready to go, and then they go like 3, 2, 1, and then the floor goes, and then you like go down. And then it sort of like does a normal, it's like a drop slide, and then it goes around and then down. And then we've got a 100-foot water slide drop. Just a really, 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 really tall water slide that maybe has like 4 people on at a time, like either side. So those will be like the 2 really, really extreme rides that we have there. But the other ones, they can all still remain inside. And then we have these 2 slides here, which all go up onto the same staircase, and then you have one that you have a ring for, so you sit on the ring individually and it goes around. It'll be quite fast. And then the other one will be like full on pitch black and super fast and terrifying and scary. I don't really like those rides personally, but I know people who do. So I think that would actually be really cool. When it's pitch black, I get really scared inside the water slides, because I think, well, what if I get stuck and die and I don't know where the water is? Yeah. Over here, one of those like fishbowl tank rides. So you sort of go onto a normal slide, and then it sort of goes around in a tube, and then you come and plop out into a massive like fish tank bowl, and you sort of end up going around the bowl like this until you like plop out into a big tank, and then you have to use a ladder to get out. So like, of course, you need to be a strong swimmer for these sort of rides like that one. And then over here we have 3 intertwined tube rides. So they'll be like extreme race rides, I guess. So each one will be like the same length, but like turn in different ways. And then we had a little 4-foot pool. So this would basically have a huge waterfall in the middle that you can walk through. We're going to have like this sort of like padded area of foam with some like little holes in the floor where water like splurts out automatically, so it's like you're walking through a dancing water fountain. We have an inside area here, which is a Lilo and Stitch show, so they'll be doing like it'll be like a nice cool variety show. So there'll be like the host, they'll come on, they'll do some like dancing, Stitch might play the guitar a little bit, we'll have some like hula dancers come on and do some stuff. So we're going to have like benches, and people can just come and sit and watch that little show. It'll just be like a nice little variety show. So next to this, the other indoor building we have here is a 7-foot indoor pool that will be like, and then inside there will just be a full wave machine. But we're going to have like an area that goes a little bit slanted just until you go into that 7-foot bit. And then we have here the last attraction within the water park. So that would be a 20-foot tank with a diving board. So again, you have a cast member there making sure that you definitely can swim before you go on it, and making sure you don't do things like cannonballs and it is just diving, or just a straight jump. There'll be like a long ladder from the inside and outside all the way across, like, woo! So people can just grab the ladder and climb up if they lose their way in there somewhere and can't swim all the way up. That entire thing will be like the whole water park. Everything will be via Magic Band, so that'll be your ticket, your room key in the lift at Lady Tremaine's, so that you don't access the wrong floor, the luxury floor. And then that'll be your fast passes, that'll be like literally all your tickets, everything, and then you can alter everything on there. You can add like multiple guests to a package so that you all have it on the same band. You have your Magic Band come in the post, and then you scan like the serial number that's come on your band into the actual app, and then you can book everything on the app as well. You can have a map working on your Magic Band to get to different areas of the park. It will come in loads of different colours like black, white, orange, pink, blue, green. Book things in advance following, so like you can book your dining plans in advance, like to your correct package. You can book your fast passes in advance for your correct package. So any fast passes can be booked on the day with availability, and then the fast passes, if you are paying on the entrance of the park and that's what you're doing, then you can get up to 20 fast passes a day and obviously book on the day, and you can do that through the app through your Magic Band. And then Lady Tremaine's, you would get unlimited fast passes and then 7 days in advance that you can book, but that's a certain attraction, so you can see it all up here. Anyway, and then here are the attractions with fast passes. So obviously under C, that's all the indoor meet and greets, including Little England, so you can book your fast passes on the day, but you can't fast pass them like in advance. So I can take you very, very quickly through our dining plan. So dining plans can be added for all guests, but children under the age of 7 will not be charged for them, but it will be like accessible. And the snacks include different things as well per different band, and then your refillable cup is slightly different again. If you don't have any dining plan, then you can't book anything in advance, that sort of thing as well. So I'll quickly go through the dining plan options. So the no dining plan, you can go to quick service, pay full price for the items, and then like a standard deal of like a burger, chips, a drink, pudding thing. So that would be like an £18 deal that you would have like throughout the different quick service restaurants. And then you would have like the buffets. If you wanted to have that, you would have to pay £30 on the door, and you can't book in advance if you don't have a dining plan. You cannot dine at any of the hotels except for Lady Tremaine's, and that's only for the character dinners. Again, you can't book in advance, you'd have to have it like on the door, and that would be £45. And guests would have to pay like full price for literally everything at all of the food kiosk stands. And then the WDP Circus would be £40 for the opening until 11, and then £50 per person anytime after 11 for those standard seats only, and not any special seats, sorry. So the luxury level dining plan would be £70 for 1 night per person, £119 for 2 nights per person, £178.50 for 3 nights per person. You'd also get a discount on the WDP Circus for a £20 anytime access with quite good seats as well, and rather than the standard seats. It's quite a difference, so it's not actually included in your package, but you're basically getting like 50% off. And now we're on to the deluxe full board, which is our best dining plan. So that works out as £140 for 1 night, £224 for 2 nights, and £336 for 3 nights. Now I don't know if you've looked at these orange things over some of the path and wondered what the heck those were. So the actual lines themselves are the tickets. So you would need to scan your Magic Band to prove that you have the tickets to access. And if you're at the train station, you can actually purchase the park tickets there and then. So there will be a little Disney kiosk there, ready to purchase. So that would be like things like guest services as well within there, so you can purchase anything additional. And you can also use the app to add on the package if you want to, if you can't get into the area, and because you haven't bought that, then you can use the app to purchase that. And with the Magic Band as well to the app, you can add on all of your card details, and that will transfer all of the currency without any fee, because I want it to be almost like Starling Bank, where you can just have your card and then it's attached to that on the app, so there's no payment for change of currency. It just is what it is for like direct exchange. And then all the little blobs that you can see, that's where you'd have security. So you'd have like bag checks and walk through those things that you walk through, like what you have at airport security, and just obviously make sure that you're not hiding anything in your person. And then we have 2 large additions. So this isn't obviously including any of the little statues. Obviously, throughout the village and stuff, we're going to have like lovely little statues. Obviously, we've got these 2 massive areas here. So we've got a lake. The lake, I was actually considering maybe having a hot air balloon over the lake, like what they do in Disneyland Paris, because that's great. just a little bit of an additional fee if you wanted to do that. And then over here we've got a flower bed of in the shape of Mickey. There's just a little water feature around that flower bed as well, just so it's really pretty. And I am quite sad that this series has sort of like now come to an end. I really need Disney to just hit me up and say, hey, we have an Imagineering job for you, and it's going to be to create this entire park that you've come up with. Seriously, I made the entire thing. I thought about all of it. Please hire me, Disney. I want this to be a reality. It will always be a reality now on YouTube, but always in my brain. And I hope that you really enjoyed it. If you want to hear more about this park, then let me know, because I definitely will go into more detail if you would like. Because this map doesn't actually show where cast members would also be for like backstage, but I don't want to include that. I just sort of want to include what the guests would have access to. It's been quite a fun time creating this whole new world. If you like this video, then make sure to give it a like, comment, blah blah blah, and then feel free to subscribe as well if you want to come back. I hope that you do, and I hope you've enjoyed the series. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a magical day. Bye!